David and Ryan, from probably the day before we started shooting and getting everything prepared, through till past the last day, they were so incredibly sick.
Wouldn't it be lovely to look back on this and laugh? Remember that time our production almost got ruined by both of us being sick? Looking good, everything's gonna be fine.
So the entire film crew are basically crippled to the point of inability to function. Yeah, are you feeling any better? Oh, well, that's good. If there's any consolation, pretty much everybody on the crew... Are you alright? Yeah. Everybody on the crew is in the same boat.
So it was a unifying thing to have, in that we were sick together. So I mean, we all kind of empathized with each other's plight.
It was kind of ludicrous. I mean, shooting on set, everything went very smoothly. It was just a constant push for, you know, the director and the cameraman, of course, that David and Ryan. It was a real hard push for them to get through it, but, you know, they persevered and they got through, which is actually quite impressive considering how ill they were.
So Sam Perry, as his producer role, he got on board media makeup, which was absolutely amazing. They came on board, we had 2 different girls for each day, and they just perfectly understood what they were doing, and they really did do a lot of amazing work, especially for just the quality of the shoot. You know, we had a lot of fun with the rogues and with Rachel, especially with Jonathan, who was basically operating as our beta rogue. So he had to have bruises all over his face, black eyes, and he just looked stunning. But the real fun came when we actually came around to doing the infected, because it was really tricky finding just that perfect image for the infected, because they're not zombies, which means they don't just have that conventional, like, rotted zombie flesh look about them. They're essentially completely functioning human beings that are just hyperactive and insane and just ready to charge at anything. So they needed to have that, like, that animalistic, rabies, raw, insane look about them, and they just absolutely nailed it. The shoot went really, really smoothly. We got all of the shots. We didn't have to compromise at any point in time.
One of the inherent difficulties with the shots is because they were so long and all in one, and I'd only had about a week's preparation with the glide cam, and that the calibration was difficult. I mean, it's a gimbal system, you have a counterweight at the bottom and the camera on top, and the slightest knock in any direction will send it spinning freely.
We shot at Morialta up in the foothills, and just all the lush greenery, the streams, you know, just everything there. It was just absolutely gorgeous. I mean, a lot of the crew were actually taking their own photos and going, oh my God, we're shooting here. You know, they couldn't believe they were in such a great location.
Yes, it wouldn't be a film without significant cameos.
So I was, you know, I was approached by David originally to be first AD and to help out on set, which I was really happy to. I saw what they were doing and I was really excited to see what this production was going to be like. And I read the script and everything, and then eventually David approached me and said, "Oh, we actually need an extra rogue." And I said, "Oh, which one was that?" And he said, "Rogue number 2." And I said, "That's the rapey one, isn't it?"
Sam Perry got the most significant cameo. He was our delightful infected.
Because I was originally supposed to be the first infected who falls off the cliff with Connor, but then David, director me, informed me that I had the crazy eyes for the second infected just to carry it off. So I was very happy to do this. Yeah, it was great fun getting the makeup on, especially. I sort of got warned a little bit with the blood out of the eyes when they were doing this. They were saying, okay, if we do get any in your eyes, it will burn a bit. I'm like, okay, why is that? Oh, just because it's 99% ethanol. Oh, fantastic.
I also got to play an infected. I got to have the opening scene with Connor, where I fall off a cliff with him and then drink the water and slowly start turning infected myself. So that was a lot of fun. But the biggest cameo definitely went to Connor, who actually got essentially one of the lead characters. I mean, the guy has this gorgeous scar right on his stomach. and we're doing a post-apocalyptic film where, you know, people have gone through hell. So if you know a dude that basically has his guts teared out of him and then like stitched back inside, you got to use him with his shirt off. Now, we were very determined not to have to write that out or write around it. So from the early stages, we were trying to figure out how the hell we're going to pull this off. We went through helicopters.
We were looking at quadcopters. We were looking at rental services.
We were really committed to trying to get an aerial shot there.
So, I mean, every production that we've done so far has basically, you know, you've had your framework and then you've had the shot. You know, in this case, the shot was a camera going over a cliff.
And so we came up with the idea of using the GoPro footage, and we could essentially throw a GoPro off of a cliff and have it represent the point of view.
Which was what we ended up settling on after, you know, aerial shots were scrapped, that sort of thing. We had a whole bunch of locations that we couldn't use due to the, you know, the logistics of it. So we ended up with the GoPro being mounted to a heavy backpack and thrown off a cliff.
Film.
Hello.
What's up?
Hello.
This is, now that I'm actually about to do this is one of those ideas, oh, it's okay, we'll just throw the GoPro off of a cliff. And now that we're about to do it, we're realizing this is a really fucking stupid thing to do. 1 minute in, a 3, a 2, a 1.
You just threw your expensive camera off of a cliff.
And we're going to try and find our bag with a GoPro on it to collect our fantastic cliff jump footage. There she is! So after we'd successfully thrown the GoPro off the cliff, one of the things which we just felt we needed was to have the hands waving in front of the screen in order to kind of like show that it's still his point of view and he's falling, because the hands are popping up all over the place beforehand, which means that we had to have Connor strap the GoPro back on his forehead in a green screen room and then just wail around, and then we took one little hand, and it's just very, very subtle, but you see it creep through and it really just sells the shot.
Dear God, it's a space quake.